YouTube is going back with another one. I read your comment. I'm listening. Another one. So today we're going over Calcharo, aka Kakarot, aka Zaddy, aka Zaddy. So pretty much, Calcharo is the other Broadblade user in the game. He is a main DPS, and he is genuinely a chef's kiss. Mwah. This homie has everything. He has more depth than Gion. I'll say that right off the bat. Gion is a simple spam normal attack and kind of just resonance liberation. Calcharo has a lot of depth to his build, but it's also not necessary to use. You can just play him normally and he still works. So let's break everything down. I'm going to go over his weapons, his echoes, his fortes, actual gameplay examples of, you know, maybe certain combos you can do, and then also showing you that you don't really need to do any of that extra mumbo jumbo. But let's get right into it. So when you upgrade his nodes, he gets crit damage, which is very nice. Obviously, crit damage creates a massive plus for any character. That is his DPS, and then you get the attacks normally there, nothing too wild. Basic attacks, nothing too crazy. Normal attack, heavy attack, midair, yada, yada, yada. His resonance skill, you can perform up to 3 consecutive strikes, dealing electro damage. If Calcharo is switched off field, or if resonance skill like termination order is not performed again in a while, the school will enter cooldown. The resonance skill extermination order does not interrupt Calcharo's basic attack combo. So pretty much, just so you can see, Calcharo has his resonance right here. Oh, great heavens. So Calcharo's Forte circuit has 3 parts, right? So with him, you want to do some sort of normal attack, a skill, and then you see there's that little circle kind of going through it. You have a timer here. You cast a skill one more time, and then after that, you want to try to cast on the third one as close as possible, so that way you have the lowest cooldown. So for example, again, 1, I'm going to cast this one again, and then on the third one, I'm going to wait for that little rotating bar to go very low, and bam. My cooldown is as low as it could possibly go, at least for that timing. If you don't do it, and you just kind of let it rotate and go through and reset, it goes to a 5-second cooldown. So it's really just a timing game. It's, okay, can I get this stuff done very well? So here, we're going to delay it again one more time just to show you. Bam, okay. That little cooldown, yeah. And then, bam. As you can see, you can get that cooldown to be pretty seamless just by having right timing on there. Calcharo's Forte circuit is full. You could actually do a heavy attack to unleash a larger damage. I'll show you real quick. So I'm going to get my Forte circuit to the 3 bars. So skill, that's going to give me 1 more. Stupid. And so now that it's fully leveled up here, I'm going to charge attack. And you do this animation that just does an ungodly amount of damage, which is pretty sick, honestly. Once you get that Forte circuit up to 3, you do that charge attack, and bam, you unleash even more damage, which is nice. You just got to focus on those timings. You don't want to reset it to 5 seconds. It's not the biggest cooldown ever, but you want to try to get it like close to like 1 or 2 second cooldown on that third strike. You know what I'm saying? Resonance Liberation is dope. Let's go over this real quick. I'll read all this and I'll break it down in English. Calcharo attacks the target, dealing electro damage and enter Deathblade gear state. You've seen Spider-Man 3 when Tobey Maguire's like ripping off the symbiote. Like he's kind of like Calcharo just like ripping off his clothes. Like, you know, when the bells happen in the church and then homie's like, "Dear God, please kill Peter Parker." You know what I'm saying? That's the state he enters. He enters the symbiote state. And after Resonance Liberation, Deathblade gear state ends, Calcharo's next intro skill is replaced with an intro skill Necessary Means, which deals electro damage considered as intro skill. I'll show you the enhanced intro skill. It's pretty sick, and it does electro damage, which is a W. The Deathblade gear. Basic attack is replaced with basic attack Hound's Roar, and the dodge counter deals increased damage considered as Resonance Liberation damage. Hound's Roar, Calcharo performs up to 5 consecutive attacks, dealing electro damage considered as basic attack damage. So I will go into training in a moment to show you exactly what that is. But pretty much, instead of him having the buff where it's 3 at the bottom for his Forte circuit, he's going to have 5. In order for you to get those charges, instead of you timing your E's, all you have to do is normal attacks to get that 5 stack. And then once you get the 5, you hold down your charge attack and bam, more damage. Very similar to the other one, just instead of skill, it's normal attacks. Now the Forte circuit. When Calcharo has 3 quality with his heavy attack, this is pre-Resonance Liberation. This is just normal. Heavy attacks replaced with a heavy attack Mercy. When casting heavy attack Mercy, Calcharo consumes 3 cruelty to deal electro damage considered as heavy attack damage and recovers resonance energy and concerto energy. We discussed this already. This is pretty much just saying, hey, listen, you hit him with your elemental skill, you'll get 1 stack of this cruelty. You need a max of 3. And then same thing, heavy attack. When Calcharo has 5 killing intent, his basic attack is replaced with a heavy attack Death Messenger. When casting heavy attack Death Messenger, Calcharo consumes 5 killing intent to deal electro damage considered as resonance liberation damage and recovers resonance energy and concerto energy. Again, like I said before, get those stacks up with normals. You just hold charge. He's not that complicated. There are a few things that kind of, again, give him a little bit more depth, but also his speed tends to really hurt him with parrying and whatnot, but I'll address that after. So his outro skill is nothing too crazy. It really just does more damage based off of his attack. 195.98% plus 291.96 of Calcharo's attack. It's cool. Intro skill does attack. Nothing too wild here. His Forte circuits are pretty sick. Casting heavy attack Mercy, Calcharo's Resonance Liberation damage is increased by 10% for 15 seconds. So he's buffing his own ultimate off rip, which is very nice. It doesn't take a long time to get Mercy stacks, as you can tell, and it's really not that bad. And then the next one is actually pretty good because it actually gives him some defense res. So when heavy attack Death Messenger hits the target, the damage taken by Calcharo is reduced by 15% for 5 seconds. So you're pretty much buffing your ultimate, but then you're also getting some defense res right here for just pretty much hitting your proper combos. It's simple, it's straightforward, but it's effective and it works. So it's a massive W. Talent priorities, I would go Resonance Liberation first, and then you could do a toss-up with the Resonance skill or the Forte circuit. Me personally, I would probably go Forte circuit. So Resonance Liberation, Forte circuit, Resonance skill, and then the basic, and then intros for last, if you would even upgrade that. That's how I would upgrade Calcharo, just based off of reading how his kit works, but Resonance Liberation is probably going to be the most important one to start with. So just to show you in the trial real quick, it's very simple. Basic attacks, you already got a little bit of taste of it before when I was beating up that car, but now you'll see everything right here. Normal plunging attack, nothing too special there. That's the charge attack without the extra increase from the resonance. So skill. Now we have the full Forte circuit right there. I'm gonna hold down the attack button. You do that attack, but then he plunges forward and does another additional attack that gives even more damage, which is awesome. And now we're going to do his ult. Bam. Basic attack. Basic attack. Basic attack. Basic attack. Basic attack. And then you tap. Bam. And so you saw he went up by 5 points. And then once you got to the max, you did your basic attack. You held it down. And that's really it, man. Calcharo is really not that complicated. You're going to have a lot of people saying where you can get into animation canceling, which is true. When you do a counter with Calcharo, in the middle of the counter, as long as your resonance skill is up, you could actually hit the resonance skill button, and that will stop pretty much the counter from taking forever, and you can kind of get more DPS out that way. There are a few combos that you can do. I mean, like, you can do a couple normal attacks, hit E. You want to do a charge attack, while you're still waiting for that to charge up, you hit E again. You got your third one charging, and then you want to do whatever, normal, plunge, whatever, bam. You have a bunch of ways that you can work with this. And that's what there's more depth with Gian, and the fact that he's not just a simple press A and button mash out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight a boss in a bit to show you exactly what you can do, and I'm going to show you normal gameplay. The one thing with Gian, since he is slower, his parries are a little bit harder to hit. I still kind of struggle with them because I suck. I am used to someone like Donjon or even Gian where their parries are much faster. So I have to kind of adjust to his parry speed, but I feel like a lot of people are going to have an issue with that. His parry speed is a little lackluster. It is what it is though. Weapons. Right now I'm running the Verdant Summon. I'm running Gian's best in slot. I'm only running this for its stat stick at the moment. It gives crit damage, but he is not getting the full buff from the passive. He's going to get the obviously increased damage bonus of all resonance attributes by 12%. That he'll get. But every time intro skill or resonance liberation is cast, increases heavy attack damage by 24%, stacking up to 2 times. This effect lasts for 14 seconds. He's really only getting this buff potentially once. He's not going to be able to build up his resonance liberation to do the full charge attack. And then after that, get out of that mode and be able to build up his Forte circuit within 14 seconds. I just don't really see it. So he's not getting the full buffs of the passives. Or if it is a very, very sweaty time frame, so I don't really like it. What I would recommend is either the Battle Pass weapon, which is very good for him. It gives crit rate, and if you can see over here, increase attack by 4% upon dealing basic attack damage or heavy attack damage, stacking up to 5 times, so you get a 20% attack increase. This effect can last for 7 seconds and can be triggered every 1 time for 1 second. So that's great because it drops with crit rate, which is insane. Another good one is going to be the actual banner one that you could focus, not that is the pistol stinky over here. This is double attack, which is what he scales off. If he does scale off of attack, sidebar, increases energy regen by 12.8% When resonance skill is released, increases resonance liberation damage by 7%, stacking up to 2 times. This effect lasts for 12 seconds. So that's going to increase his overall resonance liberation damage, including the normal attacks, which is why this is better than something like Geon's. Although it doesn't have crit damage, it has double attack. That is still good because, again, he's scaling with that. So I'd really go for those 2 weapons. Everything else is kind of eh. You know what I mean? If you have Geon's weapon, you could throw it on, and you're not using Geon, you could throw it on him because it's a stat stick and he'll get the first power, the first passive. But now echoes. His echoes are pretty simple. You want this set. Void Thunder set. Electro damage, and then the 5 pieces upon using heavy attack or resonance skill, electro damage is increased. That's normal. Your main echo that you want to use is Thundering Memphis. Transform into Thundering Memphis to deal electro damage. Increase the current character's electro damage and resonance liberation damage. You're just stacking more electro and more ult damage on top of yourself to have the highest DPS values possible. After that, again, obviously you want to just mix and match with this set. The stats you want to be looking for, clearly not healing bonus. This is a horrendous piece. Don't get healing bonus. You want crit rate, crit damage, attack. We want heavy attack damage. We want energy regen. You know, anything in the normal, I feel like the very normal meta stuff. Resonance skill damage, resonance liberation damage, you know, the basic things. Again, attack will always be good because he scales off of attack, but nothing too out of the ordinary here once again. I really feel like for a lot of these DPSs, the echo stats are really the same, you know, so that's what I would run for the echoes. And I'm going to do a quick boss fight real quick just to show you. I'm not going to really do any of the animation canceling. It's not really required. You're going to see a lot of people tell you you can, and you can 100%. It's very good that you can have an option with this character and, you know, do different things and different play styles. But I am the try-hard casual who has massive skill issues, so I'm just going to show you a basic boss fight with this homie right now. We're going to fight actually his best echo, and I'll show you. Maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 animation cancels, but nothing too crazy. So let's go. So we dodge that. As you see, look, I didn't even get a parry there. Oh god. So we're gonna try to get this timing good. Bam. Okay, and we got a little bit of a cancel there. Boom. Okay.
All is fair in war.
Oh god. There. Bam.
It's time. Exterminate.
Okay. Now we got a 3-second cooldown. There we go. We're gonna mark him with Arena now. Now, obviously, my Calcharo is not the best build, but it'll get the job done. Swap out to you. Swap out to you. Now, you're gonna see also we will be getting that intro skill going for you, so that way you can see what it looks like. There we go. Bam. We just gotta do our normals. Get that stack to 5. Boom.
Caution.
Oh god. Oh great heavens.
Stay calm.
As you can see again, I'm over here over attacking.
It's time.
Okay, and then we're gonna get that 3rd. Boom. Now I don't want to kill it with Donja real quick. I want to try to get the Concerto energy with you with Verena. That way I could show you this intro skill with him.
Target confirmed.
Bam. This is what his intro skill is going to be after his Resonance Liberation. It's pretty sick. Boom. There we go. W parry because I'm just built different. And then dodge right there. So I feel like you get the gist. It's just a lot of damage. Homie is doing a bunch of shit. Oh! Wait a second. I'm keeping this in the video. Hold on. Hold up. Hold on. Let's go! Let's go! This is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you want. We're going full in. Full sending. Full sending. We're tuning all of it right now. Whatever. For science. For science. For science. For science. Not the worst piece in the world. If this was crit rate or crit damage, and if that was crit rate or crit damage, I would be a lot happier, or even attack. You know, heavy attack damage bonus is good, and attack is good, but defense is not that great. But hey, it's crit damage. I'll take it. So now he has 181 crit damage with that, but no crit rate, as you can see. So, yeah, man, that's it. That's Calcharo. Really not that hard. Again, I'm not showing you the most crazy combinations and combos you could do. I'm trying to show just how they work in combat, break down their kit, And so that way you can figure out who you like, who you don't like, and what you want to do. Team comps, very simple. Don't be surprised. Varina, Donjin could actually work. Donjin is not a bad sub DPS, but obviously you know what I'm going to say. More Tefi here works very well. Sanhua here works very well. Yang Yang works here very well. You know, you have a bunch of options with this. So I say a bunch of options, really like 3, but you get the main picture here. Eventually, when Yinlin comes out, it's going to be Yinlin instead of Donjin or Sanhua, whoever. And then Varina will be the healer. And that will be his best in-slot team. But until Yinlin comes out, Calcharo is still a very good DPS. And is probably the 3rd best DPS in the game statistically. But the 2nd best DPS consistently. And what I mean by that is Gion is the best DPS consistently in the sense that you don't need to do anything crazy to use him. Same with Calcharo, as I demonstrated. You just have a little bit of good timing on those E's, and that's it. The best DPS in the game is Encore, but you have to play Encore very well in order for you to actually have good time with Encore. So, and Encore is definitely a big skill issue. With that being said, let me know what you think. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.
Just calling my name. So come on, baby, let's stop playing.